Coming up tonight, the Bahamas Electrical Workers Union says it has had enough disrespect from Bahamas Power and Light. The corporation now has 30 days to fix the situation or face union action. Plus, condolences pour in after the passing of Baptist Conference head Reverend Dr. Lloyd Smith, who fell ill and died on Saturday. And NBA superstar DeAndre Ayton has new kicks that represent the Bahamas and Jamaica. That story straight ahead as our news weekend starts now. This is our news weekend. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'm Megan Shepard. The Bahamas Electrical Workers Union is giving Bahamas Power and Light 30 days to resolve all major issues or face union action. In a statement sent to Our News, the union said BPL's leadership behaves as though unions do not exist in the company. It said leadership is of belief it can interrupt and do as it pleases with the industrial agreements between the union and the corporation. The BWU has served a notice and says, as of today, the corporation can rest assured this will be the last time the union will speak to issues that have gone without resolution, some over the past 3 years. The union says the time for talk is over. President Kyle Wilson is calling on the membership to be ready for action. He says the clarion call will come, and BPL's leadership now has 30 days to sit and work with the union and fix the issues. Otherwise, he says the chips will fall where they may. Some of the major issues are the company's pension plan, its medical plan, hazardous pay, and the removal of the new higher scale, to name a few. Meantime, police on Abaco are investigating the circumstances that led to a traffic fatality on that northern island overnight. According to reports, sometime around 9:25 p.m., police received information that a man from Dundastown who was driving a white 2014 Hino flatbed truck traveling west along SC Boodle Highway. Another man of Murphytown was driving a Dodge Dakota truck, also traveling west, lost control and collided into the rear of the flatbed truck. The driver of the Dodge Dakota truck sustained severe injuries. A local doctor arrived on scene and found no signs of life. The victim was 37 years old. Investigations into this latest traffic fatality are ongoing. Prime Minister Philip Davis and his wife Anne Marie extending condolences on the passing of Reverend Dr. Lloyd C. Smith. In a statement, Davis says Reverend Smith was a man of many roles, a pastor, a president, a contractor, and a mentor. But overall, his legacy is singular. He made a significant difference. Dr. Smith served the spiritual needs of his congregation as senior pastor at Mount Horeb Baptist Church in Sandyport. His ability to guide, to understand, and to inspire left a mark not just on his congregation, but also on the wider community. In June 2018, Dr. Smith became the 10th president of the Bahamas Baptist Missionary and Educational Convention. On the economic front, his construction firm, Holiday Industrial Builders, contributed to our nation's growth. The Bahamas Baptist Missionary and Educational Convention also extending their condolences and prayers to Minister Linda Smith, the wife of Reverend Dr. Smith, their children, and immediate family. The Progressive Liberal Party sending condolences on the passing of the Reverend Dr. Lloyd Smith as well. The party describing the late Reverend as iconic in his reputation and in his stand for the progressive cause. In his independence message to the Bahamas, King Charles recently spoke of the unchecked crisis of global warming and climate change, which he says poses a devastating risk to the archipelago and other small island states like it. King Charles also mentioned many pioneering Bahamians, young and old. Among them is Charles Hamilton, a climate change advisor in the office of the Prime Minister, who is a champion in the climate change fight. Hear more from our Jean Joseph.
Charles Hamilton has been a climate advisor at the office of the Prime Minister since January 2022. Since then, he has made waves worldwide with his recent election to the United Nations Carbon Credit Body and acting as the lead negotiator in carbon credit discussions on behalf of the Alliance of Small Island States. Although he has many international duties, his work starts here at home, where he helps guide the country's climate change decisions.
I provide advice to the Prime Minister and to persons within government on matters related to climate change, but specifically issues related to climate finance, carbon credits, the loss and damage, and trying to ensure that big climate related projects can be advanced in country to the benefit of the Bahamian people.
While he doesn't take all the credit for the country's position on the world stage relative to the climate change conversation, he takes pride in the part he plays.
To see the Bahamas being seen as a leader in this space, I think this has been some of the biggest highlights of being in this role and contributing to that image.
Hamilton returned to the Bahamas from Europe when Hurricane Dorian hit to assist however he could. With rising sea levels and more frequent heat waves making storms like Dorian an ever-present reality, Hamilton says small island states must continue to apply pressure to more developed countries.
Stopping this work is not an option, and it means significant sacrifice and having to really go out there and push and have our voice heard loudly, because I know that there are 400,000 plus persons here at home who need the support, and that can't be done by ourselves. And so for me, that's the biggest concerns I would say I have right now.
Hamilton says the commendation humbled him. While he doesn't call himself a scientist, he appreciates the king's sentiment, validation for the work he and many others do to save the Bahamas and other small island states from the rising waters.
I'm a negotiator, I'm an advocate, but still I got the sentiment, right, that these persons and so many other Bahamians are working at the intersection of climate change, and to just be, named was an honor. I don't do this work because I want to be honored or have my name called or anything. I just want to do the work because this is what needs to be done for our people.
Reporting for Our News, I'm Gene Joseph.
Still to come on Our News Weekend, Bahamian NBA star DeAndre Ayton has got some new kicks. Code word, flag works. Stay close. And adults who can't swim are not getting left out this summer. The City of Freeport Council is holding a swim camp, leaving no man behind. That's coming up when Our News Weekend returns.
If new, Heineken Silver was a riveting Viking saga.
Lars the 12th, your family tortured my first wife and stole my second favorite goat. Now you want to marry my daughter. Okay.
All the taste, no bitter endings. Smooth, fresh, silver.
Earlier this week, Bahamian NBA star DeAndre Ayton dropped his newest colorways for Puma's Rise Nitro Kicks. The shoes, which display Bahamian and Jamaican colors, according to Ayton, pay tribute to his roots. His comments came after donating $10,000 to Junior Achievement Bahamas.
I was born in the Bahamas. My mom's Jamaican. I feel like everybody in my family is Jamaican, really, but that's just me showing both sides, showing the world who I am. Yes, I was born in the Bahamas, and I love the Bahamas, but also, my mom's side, she's not gonna let me forget where I really am from.
For Ayton, the new shoe also serves as an opportunity to educate outsiders on the significance of the Caribbean.
In the Caribbean, it's just not only one island, it's really representing everybody, the 700 islands, all the young kids that, think their flag isn't important or their ethnicity isn't important, just to represent themselves the best way, because that's who you are.
As we dive deep into the summer months, experts are encouraging people to learn how to swim. The City of Freeport Council hosting its free annual Learn to Swim camp in Freeport for kids recently. But they are also encouraging adults to come out and learn the life-saving skill. Swim instructor Catherine McClay.
I swam competitively up until the time I was 19. I swam with the Thunder Bay Thunderbolts. We had the top Canadian coach, and he was a tough one. So I know my stuff. I'm comfortable in the water. I know that I can get you swimming.
Chief Counselor Fraser Gibson says the program is available for adults in the afternoon at 5:30.
Since Hurricane Dorian, it was even more important that the City of Freeport continue with this program because of the water that covered the island, which was 80% of the island. And for the most part, surrounded by water, most people are unable to swim, including adults.
Well, we're going to take a break here, but when we return, our summer series continues. Today, we tell you about the importance of servicing your vehicle. Stay close. And our Joshua Williams takes a look back in time. See what he finds when our News Weekend returns.
Doctors Hospitals reimagine primary care. We have invested to improve our health system, ensuring that accessible, affordable, world-class clinical care is closer to you. Your relationship with a primary care provider shapes the foundation of your overall health. Our new, modern primary care facilities are where critical diagnosis and true personalized treatment begin. With locations across New Providence, Grand Bahama, and Exuma, we invite you to experience the Doctors Hospital difference. Book your next appointment at clinics.doctorshos.com.
Welcome back. And now to the importance of maintaining your vehicle as we continue our summer series. It's been asked, when is the right time to service your vehicle? In this report, our Italia Hall speaks with a mechanic who is based right here in the capital, and he says it's important for all road users to service their vehicles frequently.
It's just like going to, like your body, you need to be able to have it checked out every so often. And in this case, preventative maintenance, regular service, it's very important to catch those things. Because once it happens, it's already happened. Nothing you can do but actually carry the repairs.
Mechanic and owner of Ace Tech Auto, Dion Ferguson, says preventative maintenance of your vehicle is key. He shared what mechanics are usually looking for during a routine car tune-up.
So you could look to see if a hose is cracked. You could feel the texture of the hose and see if it's brittle. You could look at the belt the same way. If it's brittle, if it has cracks inside of it. And the thing about it is, if it has those things, that is the time to do it, not when it actually breaks. And similarly, like with a water pump or a fan, you can actually see those things. And you want to catch it before it breaks.
And he says to always inspect your car.
Tire pressures, see if the tires are bald, standard. If you don't know how to do it, pop the hood, check your dipstick. See what the oil level is. If you don't know, come to a shop, take it to a shop.
And how often should you tune up your vehicle? While the mechanic says every 3 to 6 months. But for those who find the service a little too costly,
it's more costly to break down on the road and have to pay the towing fee as opposed to paying 30, maybe 40, who knows, maybe even $80 to have an oil and filter change done. And if you have an issue, have it addressed at that time. Because the thing about it is, you still have to get the whatever it is repaired, plus you got to pay for the towing fee. Anyway, so isn't it cheaper to go ahead and have that maintenance done? Yeah, I think so.
The car expert also giving this tip, which is to always give your engine an opportunity to warm up before driving off.
It has to be at operating temperature. All right, give the vehicle the oil time to get up into the engine, get warm enough so you won't create an issue. And an issue such as sludge and all the rest of it. You don't want to just jump over and drive away.
Reporting for Our News Weekend, I'm Italia Hall.
Thanks for those tips, Italia. Well, school's out, and that means summer camps across the island are in full swing. Over on Grand Bahama, the City of Freeport Council is hosting a number of interactive summer camps designed to get kids active and outdoors. But Chief Counselor Fraser Gibson says they've also hosted a unique camp designed specifically for kids with special needs.
We take very pride in our special needs camp because we don't want to leave any child left behind. And so these are our special kids, those who may be autistic, may not be able to attend a traditional camp or a special skills camp. But the special needs camp caters to all of that, to their needs. And it is run by qualified instructors who are specialized in special needs kids.
Now, the camp is hosted annually, and because of the Bahamas' 50th year of independence, she says this year's camp was Bahamian themed. Principal at the Beacon School, T.T. McKinsey Moss, says the students have been enjoying their experience.
Our students are so elated to be here at this summer camp. The City Council hosted for us for many years now. We are so grateful to the City Council for providing this camp for our kids because, you know, our kids are sometimes left out. And without this camp, our kids will not be able to go to any summer camp. So we are truly grateful for this. And our kids are enjoying themselves and having a fantastic time. They are doing arts, they're doing craft, they're doing academics, and they are having fun. So we are so grateful and so thankful for City Council and all that they continue to do for the Beacon School.
And as we continue to celebrate independence, it's important to take a look back and remember where we came from. Well, our Joshua Williams looked back in history where he learned about life in the early Bahamas.
A walk down memory lane. This week, I got the opportunity to tour the 50th Independence Celebration exhibit at the Elizabeth Estates Library. Old money bills, cleaning tools, books, and records provided a sneak peek into Bahamian life that in some cases even predates independence. But what intrigued me the most were the cooking supplies used back then.
This here is what you call a coal stove. So the curling iron, a straightening comb, they didn't have nothing else, but they used to put it under here to keep it hot, to heat it up so they could press the hair. This is a coal stove. The coal go in here, and you put something on the top, and then you put it there. This is the pot that you rest there. Hey, they heat your water, you get your tea, or you cook your food on it, and you have it.
I also learned about the kitchen pan that had many uses.
But you know, this is the pan. This pan do everything in the kitchen. It's bake bread, it's wash dishes, they do everything in here. And you know, this is our frying pan, cast iron.
Cast iron.
Yeah, you can feel it, you can lift it up. See if you can lift it.
And they fry everything in this, of course.
Everything.
Adamson says most of the utensils used back then predates British rule.
You can't give a date and say year, because really, we come from under the English system. And so this is what they use. And they used to use oil stove, which I think you don't even know about the oil stove, the 2-burner, the 3-burner. Then you had the one with the baker on it, where you light it. You had to put oil in it in order for it to work, to function.
I even learned that coral was used in the kitchen.
It died, breaks off, and then it washed up to the shore. But the people on the out island, what they used to do it for, like when you catch crab and they want to cook the crab fat, they open it and they put it on here and let it drain, let the water drain off of it, and then they would put sour or lemon or whatever on it for a few minutes.
Finally, we looked at drinking utensils.
But this is what they used to use when they couldn't get this on the out island, so they make the tea and whatever, their switcher or whatever, and this is how they use it to drink.
Reporting for Our News Weekend, I'm Joshua Williams.
Well, I definitely learned something new. Thanks, Joshua. The weather report is on the way just on the other side of this break. Plus, Camp Tycoon is all about developing young entrepreneurs. The details straight ahead when Our News Weekend returns. Welcome back. Raise your words, not your voice. It is rain that grows flowers, not thunder. Here's your weather report. The Sigmas have done it again with their annual stakeout at R.M. Bailey Park. The event funds the fraternity's many charitable activities like food and clothing donations and scholarships. Rodney Bain, Sigma's States Director for the Bahamas, says events like this are vital in helping them reach as many people as possible and live up to their founding principles: brotherhood, scholarship, and service.
Phi Beta Sigma, as most may know, is a service organization. One of our greatest services is giving back to men. So we have a Sigma Beta Club. They offer scholarships and different things. Knowledge is very important because scholarship is one of our founding principles. But what we want to do is not just to give money, but give our time. We want to be able to be those positive male role models in our society. And these things help us fund those events.
Greg Smith, president of the New Providence-based Delta Epsilon Sigma graduate chapter, says the profit from this year's event will help provide more scholarships than ever.
For the last few years, we've been partnering or giving a scholarship to the Bahamas Primary Student of the Year Association. We've done that for the past, I think, maybe 10, 15 years in honor of Brother Fenton Limor, who was the founding member of that organization. This year, what we want to do, however, we want to increase that, but in also doing that, in addition to that, we want to offer scholarship to our local brothers here at the Beta Beta Lambda chapter. And we have some brothers who are in our graduate chapter who will be going off to do doctoral degrees. And we plan to also give them a small scholarship or stipend to assist with their educational endeavors.
Our motto is culture for service and service to humanity. So we try to serve all of humanity. If we get to these young children, work with them, we have a Sigma Beta program which works with high school students, high school males. So we figure if we get them early, we wouldn't have to worry about them later. And so it's very important for organizations, especially male organizations, to make sure that they are taking a part in the community and helping to bring up the young men of the country.
When you think of summer camps, fun, outdoor activities, and even a bit of schoolwork probably comes to mind. Well, at Camp Tycoon, the objectives are a bit different. Founder Sasha Pinder started the entrepreneurial-based camp some 4 years ago. As an entrepreneur, she says she wished she had access to this type of environment as a teen.
I felt like if I had this information or access to this information at this age, which is ages 13 to 17, and I'd be much, much further in my career. We don't offer these courses that I feel like we need to get through everyday life, not just entrepreneurship. Some of the courses that we cover here at Camp Tycoon is business planning, financial planning. We do photography, videography, marketing courses. The list truly goes on.
Over the course of 2 weeks, the teens, ages 13 through 17, will be exposed to a number of skills to help jumpstart their future careers.
They are constructing business plans, and business plans don't expire. All you have to do is edit them. They are retaining skills that they can take into their careers and steer them, into whatever it is that they want to do. So it could be literally anything: PR, marketing, again, business planning. It could be entrepreneurship. You may just want to do media. You wanted to get into media, and you're going to be exposed to these courses, and they are hands-on mostly.
Michaela Brennan and Neve Russell are returning campers. They say they are already putting their new skills to use and enjoy the unique lessons.
When we learned about customer service, since I have a job, it taught me a lot, and I use some of those skills in the job I have today. My camp experience was fun. It was nice meeting new people, and it was an awesome learning experience.
It was great. I learned a lot of stuff, and that really helped me in the future. And, it's good because, you're getting business plans and stuff that cost like thousands of dollars and stuff. So, it's really good to get like a hairstyle in life.
Director of Keyshawn Supreme Productions, Keyshawn Williams, sharing his passion with the campers. He says he was amazed to see their level of talent.
I actually asked him who was interested in videography before I even started teaching, and I used to have like 3 or 4 months, and I was amazed, honestly and truly. And what we did was we did a product commercial for Bluebird, quote unquote, our client, product commercial for Bluebird, and they were excited. I let them pick the whole shot list. They came up with the ideas. They came up with the lighting ideas after I taught them about the different types of lighting, types of key light, backlight, and so on and so forth. And they basically took control of everything, even the camera, and I just was there to help them with whatever things they might have forgotten, and they even surprised me.
Now, the camp recently wrapped up week 1 and has 1 more to go. While they are already at capacity, Pinder is encouraging other mentors in the community to give back where they can.
Pour into the youth of the country. Stop telling the kids that they can't do it or that they're too young to do it. Let's try our best to teach them, be that guide, be a mentor, and just expose them to more than the average. I know in our school system, we don't have financial planning. I think it's important to teach children how to use money, the power of money, how to save, how to budget. I think that was one of the more important parts to me. Also planning. If you fail to plan, you plan to fail.
Good stuff, Sasha. And thank you for joining us for our News Weekend. On behalf of our producer and the entire technical team, I'm Megan Shepherd. Have a fantastic Sunday evening.